What's up, everyone, and welcome to a brand new, exciting episode of How About That? If you're enjoying the show, we have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/howaboutthatnyc. Make sure you go give the page a thumbs up, a like, and you can be able to watch this episode again, and the rest of season one is available up there right now as well. So I want to go ahead and introduce my guest for you guys. This is the lovely Akira from New York City. What's going on? How are you?
Hi, Vinnie. Thank you for having me. So excited to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great, just keeping busy with this show and just enjoying everyday life because that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's awesome. Now we have a great show for everyone out there because, we're going to be spreading the positivity on this episode. Akira, she is talented. She, has multi different careers she's dabbed in. And, she does, you can see her in Central Park doing yoga. And then one day you go to a club and you're like fist pumping like the cast of Jersey Shore, at a club and you're like, oh, she's a DJ too. There's Akira. Akira, you are everywhere. It's crazy.
It's been a fun journey. I like to switch things up, and yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Not always easy, but that's how life is. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about my journey. And once again, thanks for having me, Vinny.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you have a brand called Exquisite by Nature. We're going to be talking about that on the show. You have done some acting work recently. We'll get into that a little bit later. But first off, give us a background. You have a unique, upbringing from New York to Europe and back to New York again. Tell us all about it.
Yes, I'm from New York. I was born in New York and raised in Switzerland. My father's Swiss, my mother's from New York. So I got to spend time in both places. And when I was very, very young, when I was little, I moved to Switzerland. I did all my schooling there, and it was a beautiful time. And I always knew that I'm coming back to New York for some reason. I was like, oh, I'm going to come back. I used to come over to, during my vacation times when I was a child here, say hi to my family and everything. So I always knew that I'll be back, and here I am, and it's been a journey. So yeah.
That's awesome. So tell us, for those who aren't familiar with Exquisite by Nature, how did it all get started? Did you go to school for it and decide, hey, I'm going to start this brand, or did it happen before all that?
It kind of happened all, at once, kind of. I was always like intrigued with arts and fashion, photo shoots, and things of that nature. So I decided one time to create my own brand and create my own designs. And it kind of just developed into Exquisite by Nature. And then one day the name popped up, and I was like, you know what? That's it. Like it came in my mind, in my head, and I was like, oh, that's something, like we all are exquisite by nature. And that's one thing people gravitate to. That's what they like about it, is because they feel like they are exquisite by nature. Everybody is exquisite by nature, yeah. And like learning how to like be yourself, embrace yourself, and empowering others, and yeah.
That is awesome. So you have designed t-shirts and you also love designing lingerie. Tell us all about that.
Yes, it's been exciting. I decided to design the Naughty collection. I've been working on that for a while, and it's been great with a lot of shows. We've been having like great shows all over the city. I work with a lot of different models. I meet them or they contact me. I have an eclectic group of photographers that we always love to collaborate on different projects, and it's like one vision for all. It's like people can like, oh yeah, I love collaborating, because it's like everybody gets a chance to like show their art in different ways.
Absolutely, absolutely. And New York City is a great hub for definitely collaborating with artists of all different levels. And I'm sure I know with, working with filmmakers, I'm the type of person who, let's just say you never did lighting or you never did makeup or you never did sound, but you have an interest in it. I don't care if you never done it before. I will bring you into my circle and I will work with you. And I'm sure you're the same way as well, too, right?
No, I love that about you, Vinny, as well. Yeah. It's about like, having the vision, and I do, we all come from professional backgrounds and, but it's always, that's what I love about New York as well, is it's like an eclectic, like a melting pot of like, different artists that you can meet, just the other day I did a shoot out in the East Village, and it's like, people see it and they're like, oh my God, I'm a stylist, I'm this, I'm that. And you just like meet people, and sometimes it develop like really great relationships develops, through coincidence or like through like meeting people just randomly as well. But yeah, I was fortunate to work on a lot of like editorials and like high-end fashion magazines with like very very talented people from all over the world. And I developed the eye to have like, to produce photo shoots. So it's been exciting. It's been exciting.
Right. Now tell us about your process as far as when you get into the mood of designing, I know you have a background in music, so you might be having music on and that might inspire you or transpire you to, you're listening to jazz or pop or rock and going, oh wow, I should have like a rock and roll vibe going on here with this lingerie. Or what's your process like as far as start to end?
Oh yeah, you kind of hit it on the nail too. Like anything can inspire me, just like life stories, movies, theater, walking down the street, meeting people, talking about, travels, and also my own travels experience. And I work a lot with music. Like music inspires me very, very, very much. I mean, like you mentioned before, I also love DJing. It comes from my father. He used to be a big DJ, and he taught me how to DJ. So it kind of runs in the family. But I do. I get inspired by music, and then I like usually like draw it out, and then I go to I have a team of people working with me, a manufacturing company, and then usually, I pick out the fabrics, and we go through, what works best for, different purposes of the garments. And it has a lot, it's all about details, Manny. Like it's all about the detail, and that's what I love about fashion. It's like it just keeps moving, kind of, it keeps moving, it keeps like going with the times, what's happening right now.
Right.
Absolutely.
Everything's revolving, and that's what's fun about it too, is in 2 weeks, 6 months from now, it's all going to be different, changing, and people are going to be into different things. And I'm sure that's the fun part about fashion for you, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a fun part about life too. It's like nothing stays the same, as we all experience through this, like, kind of difficult time for everyone that we're going through. That's why it's so important to stay creative and to, spread love and spread happiness for people, especially right now in these challenging times. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now tell us your process again as far as, you mentioned that, some models will contact you and say, I have an upcoming photo shoot and I need to look my best. They contact you and you kind of meet with them, have a
Social
consultation, or
Yeah, social media has been great. I meet a lot of people through that as well, and word of mouth. Like people that worked with me before, be like, "Oh my God, I love," they'll like recommend another model. They're like, "Oh, okay, I heard of you. I would love to be a part of the project," and things of that nature. So yeah, it's been a fun journey, like meeting different models at different shows. Friends of friends. It just kind of like all comes together, and I guess I also developed the eye that I know exactly what works for each girl, like very, very quickly. Like you can see the silhouette and it's like, oh my God, I have the perfect thing for her. And then usually it just like works out like her. They're like, oh my God, I love it. It's like it's a natural process. It's a natural thing. And because I'm also a hot yoga teacher, I do the Bikram sequence. Like I love doing yoga, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor. um I'm developing yoga gear. So right now I have the t-shirts. They're positive sayings for the people, like protect your energy and things that people could use for themselves, that could benefit themselves. And I'm always about like motivating and helping people with positive messages, and like, yeah.
Right. And one of the things I've seen that you have done with, a lot array of your clients is that, you know, no matter what they're going through, you always want them to, you know, not only look their best, but you want them to feel their best. So when they put on, exquisite by nature, they're going to want to wear that and they're going to want to feel, the best. And that's what's great about what you're doing. And it's not just an image thing, it's, a spiritual thing as well.
Oh, it's absolutely everything. Like you said, it encompasses everything, the mind, the body, everything, So it's like I also work with like different crystals and stones that I'm coming out with, and like all natural lotions. Like the whole beauty product is going to be coming out soon as well. Um, yeah, it's a lifestyle. Let's put it that way. It's a lifestyle of like spreading exquisite by nature.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, you have done a lot of acting. You worked on some short films in New York, and recently you went back over to Europe and you worked on a movie project there for quite some time. And you want to tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that?
Yes. And so that's been an interesting journey. I met people. They saw me actually with doing a photo shoot. The film here in New York that I was a part of last year that came out. It was really really nice, and it was a vampire movie, Bite Me. That was exciting. And they saw some of my outfits, like some of my designs when I was shooting outdoors, and they're like, "Oh my God, we would love some for the movie." I said, "Oh, that's so interesting." So we kind of collaborate on that, and then it was in the movie, and it was like really really fun. I'm always happy to be a part of different things. I also write some of my own scripts, and I've been shooting short like short film, if you want to call it that way, with different actor friends of mine as well, because I felt like, I love, creating like stories and telling stories. I do that a lot with my photo shoots, as you can see on social media. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's more like storytelling, like you can get the vibe of what's happening, and yeah.
It is very cool. It's always fun to, even just the process from the start to the finish. And for you, do you have a specific, whether it's your photo shoots or where you're, working on one of your short films, is there a specific process where you're like, I really prefer, I like just seeing the end result and seeing how the audience reacts? Or are you like, I kind of prefer the making of and the behind the scenes process more?
Well, I learned to enjoy the whole journey. I learned to enjoy the whole process from the beginning to the end. I mean, we're all like different and we all maybe have our preferences, but I feel like it's about embracing the whole journey from like having the vision and then going a little bit through the struggle of, okay, how am I going to create this vision? I mean, you're a filmmaker. It's like something comes to you, and then you're like, okay, well, that's the next step. It's like, how am I going to execute it? So it's always going to be like a little bit of a challenge, a problem solving situation. If you're into like problem solving, it's a wonderful life, because it's always like trying out different things. How do I get there? And I think it's about, instead of looking at it as like failures or looking at it as like a negativity, like, oh, look at it as like it's almost like I have the privilege to find the solution. So that's how I kind of like work, where it's like that's what also keeps me going, is looking at it as in a positive way, and it comes natural. Like I would say, first is the vision, then it's the execution. Like, how am I going to get there? And then it's like following through with the execution step by step. Okay, this is going to, bring me to the next step. This is going to, make that happen. So I guess it's about doing that. Yeah. And working with people, being open, working with people, and yeah.
So, every day you have a totally different, schedule and routine. One day you might be working on music, the next day you might be doing yoga, you might be doing both all in one day and designing and it's you just keep busy and that's what you love about, living your life to the fullest, right?
people like I love balancing it out. Like when one brain, like they say, you have like different, you use different parts of your brain for different things. So if you like constantly use that part, it's good to do something maybe creative or something different, where it's like you balancing it out. I'm all about trying to like balance things out the best way I can. And times change. It's like, I feel like now it's a time for people to like really embrace like, okay, what are, your purpose goes back to the other t-shirt I created, like pursue your purpose, like really finding out like what's your purpose and then going for it. And like, and that's what I love to do too, is to like tell people like, like all you have to do is just like do it.
Right. That's like 50% of it, Yeah, absolutely. So I remember, I think when I first met you, you were really doing a lot of fashion shows at the time. I was getting those invitations, come to the door, the password is Vinnie, and come to the shows and tell us about some of the fashion shows that you put on. And after this whole, COVID-19 thing kind of fades down, are you, looking forward to jumping back into that? Or have you kind of thought about, maybe I should try something different?
Well, maybe we're going to try something different. Okay, it's first to the first question. Yeah, the show's been exciting. It had a little bit of a different twist to it because usually we did it in like a great nightclub. So it was like a little bit later at night. And it was like, it was a ball. I mean, you can check it out on my Instagram, IN_EVN, and go through, like the different shows from the past. I mean, I love the models. The models make the shows, and they've been so great. I love collaborating with people. Like I said, it goes back to the vision again, and it takes a lot of people get involved. Doing a show, you're gonna have a great DJ, the location. I've been fortunate to work with nice, great people.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, have you ever tried expanding? I know online on your website, you have connections, all throughout the different parts of the world. People have contacted you. And, do you have an establishment over in Europe where you're doing Exquisite by Nature over there, or are you primarily in New York right now?
Well, you can call like based in New York and based in Switzerland. I get two bases where it's like I have a friend. They're gonna open up a boutique if everything works out. Work with them in Europe. All my friends are wearing my T-shirts in Europe as well. So I always like planned out different things over there. And I'll back to the film that we did. That was exciting too. That was last fall. I was made two films in Europe. That was a timepiece one where it was like we went back in time to the like 1700s, and it was exciting and like working, like I said, with different people and the location. I mean, the background was just so gorgeous with like the cobblestones and like all these old buildings and like telling a story like that. That was like wonderful. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's always fun to do a time period piece because not only, like you mentioned, the sets are different, but just the vibe and how people were different back then, and you kind of get, you appreciate the way things were back then and how they are now, and even look into the future what they will be. So that's always exciting. So if people are out there and they want to look up your different different styles of the collections that you have done over the years, they want to look at those photos from the fashion show, they're available. Do you have a website or pretty much Facebook, Instagram?
yeah. You can see everything on www.exquisitebynature.com, and I also have Instagram IN_EVN.
That is
Definitely.
awesome. That is awesome. And for those who are curious, what are you working on right now?
Oh, I have a few photo shoots lined up, outdoors only. I'm working on this other new collection, and I'm actually working on a soundtrack for the lingerie line. I
Oh,
got like music.
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have like music that goes with it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Akira here on How About That. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And again, check out her website if you are more interested in, learning more about her film projects, her, lingerie line. And if, people want to contact you and have more questions and chat with you, you're more than welcome to do that. And New York City's happy to have you, and we will see you guys on another episode of How About That? And Akira, we'll see you on a movie set soon, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to work with you. You always have exciting projects going on yourself. And yeah, I would love to maybe collaborate.
Absolutely, definitely. So, all right, guys, we'll see you on another episode. Keep tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.